Okay, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back everyone. Today inshallah we have a new lesson about compound, but at the beginning let me ask you a question about element. What is element? Anyone remember what the element? Remember that, if you remember, we said that before, element made up only one type of atom. Okay, only one type of atom. That is element. Like what? Like gold, like silver, like oxygen, okay, like hydrogen. Okay, all of that are elements. Okay, all of that are elements made up of only one type of atom. Okay, now only one type of atom, that is elements. Okay, now how can we know that is element or not? That is a periodic table. In this periodic table we have approximately 118 elements. We take most of them. We take helium, neon, fluorine, chlorine, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, silicon, sulfur, aluminum, sodium, magnesium, hydrogen, iron, cobalt, nickel, gold, silver, copper. All of that are elements made up of only one type of atom. Okay, now if we take these two elements and we will make a chemical reaction between two of them, we have a new substance because of the chemical reaction that is called compound. Okay, rust, okay, and water, tarnish, what another, carbon dioxide. Okay, now this is compound. Okay, now each one of them not element, this made up of two different elements mixed together chemically. Okay, or make chemical reaction. If you look over for rust, for example, rust made up of iron and oxygen. If you look over for water, made up of hydrogen and oxygen. If you look over for tarnish, made up of silver and sulfur. If you look over for carbon dioxide, made up of oxygen and carbon, like that. That is compound, guys. Okay, now that is the difference between element and compound. Okay, by the way, what about mixture? What about mixture? Do you remember that we take before mixtures? Okay, we take before some mixtures. Like what mixtures? Like salt water, that is mixture. Like bronze, that is alloy, and alloy is a mixture. And also like what, like steel, stainless steel. Okay, now stainless steel also, this is alloy, and this is a kind of mixture, like that, guys. Now that is mixture. Okay, that is mixture. Okay, guys, now they are mixtures, and in mixtures we will mix also two different matters, but physical combination, by physical mixing, it's still the same. Now, to understand more about the difference between element, compound, and mixtures, let's read the book to understand more about that. If you look over for compound and element, you can see that element we have just only 118 elements. Okay, but compounds we have a lot of them, maybe hundreds compounds. Okay, all things you will use it every day, they are compounds. Water, table salt, and also some things like rust, like like plastic. Okay, a lot of things you use it every day, that is compound. Okay, they are sugar also, sugar is compound. Okay, a lot of things. We have different kinds and different examples about compounds. Okay, if you look over for a mixture, here he explained the mixture at the beginning. Now if you look over for a mixture, you can see that the mixture that is a combination. Okay, mixed together physically. okay, and you can separate them by the physical means, by filtration, distillation, evaporation, and like that. That is a mixture, and we take it yesterday, we take it before, okay, and we say that the mixtures we can mix two or more elements or two or more matters with each other physically, and we can separate them by using physical means. Okay, yes, complete concentration with me to understand these parts. Compound made up of two or more elements combine chemically. It means what? It means we have a new substance. We have chemical reaction. We have a new substance. To understand more, look over for next page to understand more about that. To understand what is the chemical reaction and how it's happening. Now let's take an example of table salt. Look over for the second example here. That is table salt. SubhanAllah, it's amazing, guys. When you look over for sodium, okay, now table salt made up of two elements, sodium and chlorine. Sodium is solid. Sodium is metal. Sodium make very strong reaction into water. Look over this experiment. Look over this video, guys, to understand about how the sodium make reaction into the water. Okay, look over, guys. Oh, amazing. Okay, now that is the sodium into the water. Can you see that, guys? The sodium make very strong reaction into the water. That's the property of sodium. Okay, what about chlorine? Chlorine is gas. Chlorine is gas. Chlorine a very strong and very dangerous gas. So if someone can smell this chlorine, maybe he will die, because this is very, very dangerous. Okay, and this is a yellow gas. Okay, and can you see that each one has own properties? But when we mix both of them together chemically, now we have table salt. Table salt, that is a new substance that is solid. Okay, that is white. That is safe for your health. No problem to eat it, or no problem to put into the water. Okay, now when we put the table salt into the water, it will make a solution. Okay, now we have a new properties. We have a new properties, and a new substance and a new properties. Okay, can you see that? Can you understand that? Okay, guys. Now by this way, okay, guys, new substance is called compound. It's called compound. Okay, another example. Look out for water, guys. Water is compound. Water made up of two elements, made up of hydrogen, that is gas, oxygen, gas also. Hydrogen is explosive gas, okay, and oxygen will increase the fire, okay, to make the fire moves up and like that, okay. But when we mix both of them together, we have water. Water is important for your health. Water is liquid. Water is liquid. Now new substance, guys. New substance, new properties. Can you see that? Okay. Now that is compound. Compound made up of two elements, mix it together chemically to make a new matter or a new substance with the new properties. Okay. Because we have chemical reaction. That is compound. And we have also here, you can see that we have also here another examples like rust. Of course, rust is also a compound. Sugar is compound. Quartz is compound. Plastic is compound. We have a lot of the examples of compounds in our life. You can see it and use it every day. Okay, now that is the difference between compound and the elements. Okay, now what about the difference between compound and a mixture? Now I will to understand more the difference between compound and mixture. You can read this box to understand more. Okay, now in compound we have two or more elements combined chemically, and focus in this word here, combined chemically. We have chemical reaction. We have chemical reaction into the compound. If you look over for rust, if you look over for carbon dioxide, the water, the quartz, all of that are compounds. Why? Because we have a new substance, they mix it together chemically. We have chemical reaction to make compound. But in mixture, no chemical reaction. We just mix it together without any chemical reaction. We will mix both of them physically, okay? Physically, guys. Okay, now it means what? It means all of the properties here is still the same. If you look over for the properties for salt and water, that is mixture, right? Now we have salt into water. The salt is still salt and water is still water. Nothing changed, just we mix it together completely. That is a mixture. Okay, but if you look over for compound, now we have a new substance. If you look over sodium and chlorine, this one have an Owen property, and also chlorine has Owen property. When we mix both of them together, we have table salt in ECl, table salt, a new substance, a new property. Okay, that is compound. That is compound. New properties. Okay, now each element do not keep their own property. No, here it means do not keep its own property. Okay, if you look over for separated, how can we separate compound? We will separate compound by chemical means or by chemical reactions. But in mixture, we can use physical means to separate mixtures, like filtration, like distillation, like evaporation. All of that are physical means we take before to separate the mixtures. Okay, that is the difference between compound and mixtures. Okay, now that's the difference between both of them, and now I gonna to show you now some pictures to understand more about difference between compound and mixtures. Okay, I'm gonna show you now some pictures to understand more about the difference between compound and mixtures or the elements. If you look over here, this is the coffee. Coffee, of course, is solution, and that is a kind of mixture. And this is steel, that is alloy, and made up of mix, and this is a mixture also. Water, of course, that is compound, because here we have two different elements combined together chemically to make a new substance. This water different than hydrogen and oxygen, of course, and this is solution. Now if you look for salt and water, the salt is still salt, the water is still water. That is a mixture, no new substance here. And you can see that you can taste the salt into the water, because that is a physical combination, not chemical. Okay, this one also mixture, and plastic is a compound. Okay, we have a new substance. This also compound, you have a new substance. These all elements that we have, 118 elements in periodic table, if you remember. Carbon is element made up of only one type of atom. This is compound, two different kinds atom mixed together chemically. Okay, and like that, guys, this iron element, and like that. Now you can understand the difference between element, compound, and mixtures. I hope you understand. I hope you enjoy. If you still have a question, you can ask me in WhatsApp. Thank you. See you next time, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.